Welcome, fellow nerds, to this episode of Nerd Shit, hosted by Lord Brad and Reoric, where we discuss all things nerd. Whether it's anime, movies, comic books, video games, Magic the Gathering, or Dungeons & Dragons. If it's nerd, we talk about it. So pull up your favorite chair, pour a glass of mead, and get ready to come and discuss everything nerd shit. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show with Lord Brad and Reoric, and we're going to start this one off promoting our Instagram page. We just started one. We're not very social media people. Like, I don't do social media at all.
Which is funny because everything is branded for Lord Brad.
Yeah. Just a fun fact, if you were to check my phone, I don't have social media on my phone.
No, we do run social media. We've got Facebook that we've had, but now we also have Instagram. But the Instagram account is at Lord Brad.
Yeah.
So Facebook is at Lord Brad. Instagram is at Lord Brad. Our YouTube channel is Lord Brad. You may not do social media, but it's all branded for you.
It's for the channel.
Yeah. So, but we do have an Instagram page up right now. I mean, I'll admit, I manage most of the social media stuff, and I do try to put everything on both channels, but there's sometimes where I'm scrolling through Facebook, because I check Facebook more than Instagram because I'm old, and there'll be times I'm scrolling through Facebook and I'll see something and I'll just share to the page, and it may not make it to Instagram. I'm going to try, now that we've got Instagram, to be better about that.
Yeah, and I have a ton of, like, D&D meme. I got a lot of nerd memes, but I also have a lot of bad memes that I can just give for the show. I can post stuff.
Yeah, I can give you access if you bothered to put it on your phone.
That's the one problem, is the moment it touches my phone, it will never be touched.
What was that app you used to use that you found all the memes and stuff on?
Not allowed to talk about that app.
What was it?
Not allowed to talk about that app. That's a rule of using the app, is you don't talk about the app when you're not on it.
Oh my gosh. Because you used to find all kinds of crazy memes with that thing.
I still do. They're still on there.
Well, then there's hope for you to be able to use Instagram responsibly at some point.
That's the one problem, is responsibly.
It comes with age. I wouldn't have used it responsibly had they had this when I was your age either.
Oh, yeah, but I believe that.
But if you follow us on Facebook, check us out on Instagram if you've got an account. Like I said, I'm Facebook friendly because I'm old. I'm not really the target demographic for Instagram these days.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to use Instagram better, but I will be posting stuff to Instagram. So when episodes drop, things like that, we will have stuff up on Instagram too.
And when I was in high school, none of the guys really used Instagram that I watched. Like, they either used it to look at memes that were public friendly, or their girls were attached to it.
It was
so
a lot of girls posting, like, fashion pics and food pics and stuff.
Yeah, look at what I did to my room. Oh my God, me and my boyfriend. Look what we did today.
It's become a little bit more mainstream now, I think. But I don't do Twitter either.
I used to do Twitter back in high school. I was a meme page on Twitter. I had to get off for a while.
Well, as an author, limiting me to 155 characters per tweet is kind of like saying, hey, write a book, but it can't be more than 3 paragraphs. Well, that's hardly a book then, is it? I can't communicate in 155 characters.
Oh, it's really easy when you're just going in and being sarcastic.
Well, yeah, if I went pure troll, I could do it in 155 characters, but I try not to be an online troll.
It's pretty easy.
Well, I know. I'm not going to say I've never been an online troll. I'm just saying I try not to be.
That is why I do not handle...
Because you would be nothing but a troll?
Nothing but a troll. I'm bad. I know on the show I don't portray it that much, but I'm bad. I can't lie.
For show purposes, I put on a lot of my professional mask. As a consultant, I have to go into people's businesses and seem respectable. I can't go into people's businesses and be myself, because then we'd get thrown out and I wouldn't get paid.
Yeah, I walk into businesses, tell them hi, and walk out.
My job involves me making nice most of the time.
If I didn't make nice, I wouldn't have a job.
Well, my job requires more than you in that regard. But yeah, If we just wanted to be a podcast of trolls, oh God, we could be a podcast of trolls.
We could be the new Andrew Tate.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh,
we should start trolling him.
Oh, he got banned off of a bunch of stuff. Is going to jail. Weird. Look him up one time. It's pretty weird.
When I get bored, I might. But yeah, if we just wanted to be trolls, we could be trolls. But that's not who we're not. That's not who we're trying to be.
I mean, I kind of am, but okay.
Not with this podcast, though.
Okay.
You can be a troll on your own.
All right.
Go troll somewhere else.
I gotta go find a bridge. I picked the London Bridge.
So, speaking of bridges, and this just excites the nerd in me, because I'm a big history guy,
Yeah.
Europe's going through this big drought, just kind of like the U.S. is right now. So water levels in this lake dropped so low that it uncovered an ancient Roman bridge that nobody's seen for, centuries.
Yeah. And they also wasn't there one in Texas that just did dinosaur footprints?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, big giant. More dinosaur footprints have been discovered in Texas in an area where there was already known to be some. But yeah, they found some big monster dinosaur prints.
Yeah.
Lake Mead in the U.S. is so low they're finding all kinds of dead bodies and guns and weapons and things. Apparently, that was a popular dumping ground for dead bodies.
Huh. Some mafia place said, they ain't ever gonna see it.
Yeah, they'll never find it here.
What the?
Yeah.
Too late now, though.
Yeah, well, most of what they're finding is people that's been missing for 40 years or more. So it's pretty wild. But that's beside the point. That's just the history nerd in me.
I'm with you. I like that stuff.
Yeah. Don't get me started on other topics of history because I'll go forever. So World War II, oh yeah, I'll talk.
I feel like that's like the only natural path once you hit the age of 40.
Yeah, but
you have to be a World War II history nut, and if you're not, you're some nobody.
I would talk your ear off about it in my 20s.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you were in the backseat of the car getting just nailed with it because you had nowhere to go.
Yeah, and I couldn't change the channel, so I left it on.
Right. My car, my topics, my TV, my remote. So yeah, you were screwed.
My teachers liked it.
Hey, you never struggled in history class, did you?
No.
That's right.
Well, I never struggled in any class. I mean, I just didn't do homework.
Yeah, you get that from your uncle. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're not going to talk genetics today. What did we say we were going to talk about this episode? Code Geass?
You just finished Code Geass.
I did. Finally. Yeah. I mean, it took me a year
to watch it,
to get around to watching it. I watched season 1 a couple of months ago when your mom was out of town.
Yeah.
And then I just now got around to watching season 2, but I've had a lot of stuff going on.
He's lying.
Am I?
He's lying.
How many books have you written?
He's still lying.
How many books have you written?
He's still lying.
Uh-huh.
None.
Exactly. How many have I written?
4.
Wrong.
I know. It's like 8 at this point.
There are a total of 10 completed.
10 are completed?
Yes.
Wow. I didn't.
Well, so the series, there's 6 in the series.
Yeah, I
That's
knew that.
That's been completed for a while.
I've always counted it as 5 because originally it was, and you
originally
split
it was 4.
Yeah, you split it. Yeah.
So those 6 are done. Then I've got the 3 standalone books. So I've got my World War II Nazi time travel sci-fi book.
That one's finished?
That one's finished.
Wow.
I've got my Among Us.
Yeah, I knew that one was done.
Space book, and then I've got my Space Bounty Hunter book done.
Oh.
Now those 3 aren't published. I've got an editor, and I'm gonna do some editing and development stuff with her when I get time. Mm-hmm. But I want to get the series finished before I dive into that too much.
Yeah.
But then the number 10 book is my HTML book that I put out several years ago.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember telling people my dad's got a book. Really? I'm like, yeah, it's for nerds for going to school and stuff, but it's a book.
Yeah, it's no longer available, so we're not going to talk a lot about it. It's been retired. I mean, the content in it's outdated, so it's no longer
I wouldn't know.
Really relevant. Well, it talked about classic ASP web development, and while it's still a functional language, most people probably don't do it. If you're going to do ASP development, you might as well just do .NET development. Yeah, a lot of people do other stuff. I'm not going to get into it all, but
yeah. So go in on how you felt about Code Geass, because it's my favorite anime of all time. My stepbrother, the moment I showed it to him, it became his number 2.
Jared?
Yeah.
Oh,
It became one of his favorites right away. He was like, I wasn't expecting this. Usually when you recommend something, it's something stupid. It's something bad or stupid.
You do have a history.
Yes.
I thought it was very interesting. I appreciated the tactical element of it. How they, each episode, it wasn't episode 1, it was turn 1.
Yeah.
Turn 2, turn 12. So I really like the way they did some of the organization of it. And okay, all objectives are all tasks are cleared, all objectives have been met. So he approached it very strategically, very tactically, not just I'm gonna do this hell or high water.
Yeah, I liked it because most animes are like power of friendship based.
Yeah,
and this was okay. I need you to live, but if you die, I can replace you.
Yeah, wow, he was kind of callous in that regard. They're just pawns, but he did have his core friends that he looked out for. Mm-hmm. And I think that was necessary for some of the elements of the story. But it was good. I really liked it. At the end, the very end, there is a twist there. I will give you that. But it wasn't completely unexpected.
Yeah.
You kind of told me, oh, the ending's memorable. You won't forget the ending.
Yeah, well, because you thought you ended it.
I thought I had finished it.
Yeah, I'm like, no, you didn't. I promise you.
Yeah, so when you phrased it to me like that, I expected something pretty dramatic to happen.
Yeah.
And where it was leading, I know better. I know that's not how that's going to go. Mm-hmm. And then in the end, wow, okay, yeah, that was pretty good. I liked the way they did that. Mm-hmm. I won't say that it was unexpected, the ending, because, I was sitting there going, okay, what would be some twists here that I could conceivably do? Because all of my books have some kind of a weird twist in them, too.
Yeah.
And some of the ideas that I had running through my head were actually pretty close to what they did in the show. I won't say I nailed it. I didn't predict it 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we were on the same page. Very very close to each other.
Yeah.
And it was memorable. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I like what he did to Rolo. I remember him saying, "Nah, you gotta go."
Yeah. Yeah. I liked how he used his friend, you must live as a weapon.
Yes.
Oh, man, that turned out really good.
Yeah, because at first he thought it was like, oh, shit, this could bite me in the butt.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, no, I can use this as a weapon.
Yeah, and it really did. And that was some pretty cool stuff there towards the end with that. Mm-hmm. So it was some really good storytelling, some really interesting twists and turns along the way. And
I think its animation's a little outdated. It was 2008, 2007, something like that. It was still during the animes, were up and running, but like not out there popular.
Yeah.
And you could tell they put the higher quality stuff into it, but it was still like, we're not sure how this is going to do with the Western audience.
Yeah.
With the voice acting and all that.
I've seen so many different cartoons and animes over the years and so many different art styles that I don't pay that close of attention to it, to be honest. I can look at it, I can see it, I can watch,
You can tell, but it's like not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Like in this one, they all had very long, lanky limbs and everything. So some of their portions were off. Mm-hmm. But then again, you see these other ones where they've got these big encephalitis looking heads and other very enlarged animated features.
Yeah.
And it's part and parcel with the media.
Yeah.
It's an anime, you expect it to look a little different, to have some defining characteristic to it. So it's just part of it for me. But it was really good. I enjoyed that one. I will give you credit for, yes, that was a solid recommendation. And if anybody else hasn't seen it, then I'm on board with you that they need to.
I know a lot of people have seen it, but have you watched the original Death Note? Because that's the one that gets compared to the most.
No. I've got the Death Note stuff among my library of to watch. I also have the Death Note movies, but I'm not watching those.
But yeah, that is the show it gets compared to the most. Some people say Death Note is better. Some people say Code Geass is better. I'm a Code Geass person. I like it better. But also, most people say Death Note ends at episode 25. If you keep going, then you're asking for a disaster.
Oh, so the story goes downhill in Death Note?
Well, originally that's what the author wanted it to stop at, but but the people were like, hey, no, it's not a completed story. You got to keep going. He was like, fine, I guess. I got to keep some element of what my show is and try and give it an ending.
So it was kind of like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
They outpaced the source material and started making up their own crap and not doing as good.
He still did it. It's just, it wasn't...
He didn't have time to develop it, though.
Yeah. So they, like, the last, I don't know, 10 or so chapters maybe in the manga, I don't know, but I know in the episode wise it's like another 6 episodes they kept going. It was just one of those, like, the thing between the main character and his antagonist, those two ends at a certain point, and it's like, well, he still needs to keep going. And it's like, oh, well, okay.
Yeah, it's not where I wanted it to end, but I guess.
Yeah, his ending was, this is over and you gotta come up with the ending, what happens after that and all that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can see where that would certainly cause a loss in quality.
Yeah, but it's still one of those, it's just two dudes playing mind games on each other. That's really what it is. And it's really good at that point. It's one person trying to get out of it, another person saying, nah, everything still points at you. No, wait, not anymore. I'm gonna keep an eye on you still. What the heck is going on? It's one of those where they're just trying to figure each other out because they don't really know about one another, but they still know what's going on.
Okay. I might have to go back and watch that one. So right now I'm actually watching 2 others. The first is The Devil is a Part-Timer.
Yeah.
Which you watched season 1 of that one too, right?
Loved it, yes.
Yeah. So, and I liked it. I watched season 1 and I thought it was great. It was pretty funny. The characters and stuff in there, how they were interacting with each other despite their differences was pretty good. Season 2 just started coming out, but it's all subbed. They don't have the dubbed out over here yet. And I'm just not in the mood to watch sub right now, so I'm going to wait for the dub.
I'm one of those people who's always so busy I need the dub on so I can hear it, because if I got to go do something, I can still hear it. I can pay attention to it. But if it's the sub, I got to sit down, and I wasn't able to read beforehand. My glasses were too bad, screen too far away.
Yeah.
I got a new pair. I can finally read. But yeah, I couldn't do sub for the longest time, and I used to be sub only. I started off sub only.
See, and I like sub. I can do sub, but I'm like you. I have to be able to sit down and focus on it. If I go back and watch any of the old school Gundam stuff, it's all sub.
Yeah.
But I have to sit down and watch. During the day, if I'm working, I can't pay attention to subtitles or anything like that. If I'm gaming, I can't pay attention to subtitles. If I'm working on a book, I can't be paying attention to subtitles. Yeah. You know, at night when your mom's home, she doesn't really watch a lot of that stuff, so I can't sit in there and spend time with her and watch it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's going to have to be something that I can just listen to and watch as I go. Mm-hmm. So I'm really anxious for season 2 to come dubbed, because I want to pick that story back up and keep going.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. I've been waiting on it for years.
Yeah. I didn't realize how long it had been between season 1 and season 2, because I just picked up season 1 a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
But I ran across it because I found an article of animes that deserved a season or that were getting a season after a long hiatus. And that was one of the top rated animes deserving of a sequel.
Yes.
So then when I talked to you and our other anime guys, they were like, oh yeah. You know, like Zeke and Adam were like, oh yeah. Devil is a Part-Timer. That's great. So a couple of recommendations there. Okay, I'll pick it up then. And y'all were bang on the money.
Yeah.
But the other one I'm working on, and this is another one of your recommendations, Psycho-Pass.
That is another one I really enjoyed. I know for a fact I enjoyed the first season. I remember watching the second season, but I watched it with my cousin, and we watched it like every other night or so. Whenever we lived out in Mildred, me and JC would watch it. And I don't remember it too well because it was kind of late, and we were turning that on, and then we'd turn on one of her animes, and we'd go back and forth. So I was watching that, and one I do not recommend, Queen's Blade. Don't recommend it. It's good, but it's also is not for kids.
There's a lot of anime that aren't kid friendly.
I think this is the reason she is the way she is today.
Probably.
Let's just say the first episode is a chick fighting another chick who can squirt acid out of her stuff.
Okay.
So switching between that and Psychopaths was what? What's going on?
Yeah, I can see how that would be easy to get mixed up and confused. So
and the only reason we watched it is at first we thought it was funny and shocking, like what the heck? And I never made it past like the 4th episode on that one.
it's like PG-13 hentai or something.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
But it was like, what the heck? And she got real into it. And I was like, that's cool. Good for you. Apparently there's a season 2 to that as well. I didn't know. I was like, okay, cool. I want to go back to Psychopaths. Thanks.
Yeah. I'll let you keep that.
Yeah.
So well, I'm only a few episodes into Psychopaths. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm on like episode 6.
Yeah.
You know, I've got my finger in a lot of pies these days, working on different things. Work's been a little busy. I'm trying to get back into the new Apex season with your brother.
Gross.
I've got a book launch coming up soon, so I've got that going. I'm managing. I just spun up our Instagram account, so I'm trying to get social media stuff going for this. And then I help do a lot of the editing for the show. And for those who don't know, we recorded a couple episodes that we've had to completely throw away and redo because there were certain technical issues with. We record, and then I have to go sit down and mess with that stuff and make determinations as to whether or not we can keep it.
Yeah. And one of them, it was technical issues, but I'm going to blame it on us forgetting that Shazam was DC. That needed to be recorded for that reason specifically. Shazam is that good of a DC movie. It needs to be announced.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to reiterate that from our last episode. Shazam is a DC movie. It just doesn't behave like a DC movie. And if DC ever pays attention to this podcast, please make more movies like Shazam. Quit making crap like Justice League, Aquaman, Batman vs. Superman, Wonder Woman 1984, Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad again.
Yeah. What was the one? Harley Quinn and
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey. Yeah, that was another one that they just squandered.
I actually haven't watched that one.
Oh God, it's a train wreck. It's just so weird, man. So it's weird. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, I think, is excellent. She does a great job. I love her as that character, but that was just another movie that I think from start to finish had a piss poor script, and Margot Robbie was just contractually bound to play it.
Mm-hmm. Now she's Barbie.
Now she's in Ryan Gosling's Barbie movie.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling's. Let me make sure that's clear. It's Ryan Gosling's Barbie movie.
Yeah,
and it's the only reason I'm going to see it is Ryan Gosling.
Oh, I'm not even going to watch it. I won't watch it.
That's the whole meme of the movie is a bunch of dudes saying, "When are the girls going to go watch our Ryan Gosling movie?"
Yeah. Yeah, it's so weird because Margot Robbie as Barbie, I think, is an interesting cast. I think she could be a really good Barbie. I mean, she certainly looks the part, but as soon as Ryan Gosling was announced, it was Ryan Gosling's Barbie. I mean, he took over and is dominating that.
So many memes about it. I love it.
It's hilarious. I think it's great.
It's kind of like the Minions movie thing where you just see a bunch of dudes in suits go into it. Mm-hmm. And then for this one, it's just going to be the same thing, but it's a bunch of guys with blonde hair now because they're Ken.
Yeah. Oh my God. Is this going to bring back Frosted Tips?
Maybe.
God, I hope not.
Kind of do.
God.
If we can revert everything back to like the 2000s aesthetic, it'd be so bad, but so good at the same time. It'd be so funny.
No, I'm
cargo
not
jorts, the goth look, Frosted Tips. It'd be so. Okay. Everything looks like a grunge band from the 2000s.
So what if we do Frosted Tip emo, but with mullets and shoulder pads from the 80s?
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in. Frosted Tip shoulder pad. Frosted Tip mullet?
Yeah.
Oh, you got me there.
Or Frosted Tip rat tail.
No, mullet. We'll keep the mullet. Would it just be like Frosted Tips in the front, or would they be in the back too with the mullet?
So your average Joe Blow would be Frosted Tip in the front and a mullet. Your hardcore redneck would be Frosted Tip front and back.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah. The Lion King, Frosted Tip front back.
Oh, yeah. I'm so in.
Yeah.
My favorite is the mullets with the mohawks down the middle. Have you seen any of those? I have.
Wow.
And of course, the mullet, the mohawk has like red tips on it and everything. So it's still a mullet, but it's also a mohawk. Seen it one time at a mall. Favorite thing I've ever seen at a mall.
Okay, so we're setting the trial the style trend.
I'm very stylish. I love it.
Yeah.
Give him a leather shoulder ripped off sleeve vest. Yes, I'm in 100%.
All right. Well, there you go, Nerd Shit Nation. It falls to you to follow Lord Brad's fashion style. Remember, this is an edict from a lord. So all the denizens of people that are under him, there you go. There's your dress code from now on. We expect to see an influx of pictures flooding our Facebook and Instagram pages of people with frosted tips, mohawks, mullets, and emo.
And jorts.
Kevin Smith!
Kevin Smith. Cargo jorts. Let me rephrase that.
Cargo jorts.
They have to be cargo. All shorts must be cargo.
So the Jay and Silent Bob reboot, have you watched that one?
Yes.
Kevin Smith makes fun of himself for always wearing jorts. I think that's great. He's so happy to pick on himself. It's fun. He's self-deprecating. I like it.
Have you seen his other movies though? He kind of needs something because they're all bad.
I like his movies,
But they're all bad.
I mean, Tusk, okay, it was a one-off for me, but I enjoyed Cop Out. I mean, that's the one he gets shit for the most, but I enjoyed Cop Out.
They obviously haven't seen Tusk then.
You don't like yoga hosers, but I love yoga hosers.
It's funny. I'll give you. It's funny. It's just I don't like any of his movies.
I love it. I mean, he's got Clerks 3 that's making the rounds now in like limited releases, and it's supposed to be getting a wider release soon, I think. And I promise you, if that hits a theater near me, I'm going to watch it. I like Kevin Smith's movies, and Clerks is funny. Back to the original Clerks in the 90s. It was great. Can't help it. Get over it.
Oh, speaking of animes we just watched the new Dragon Ball movie.
Oh, that's true. We did. Yeah, we went and met your cousin Jordan over in Waco and watched that. That one was unexpected for me. Because everything I read about it going into it was talking about Black Frieza and all this other stuff, and there was no Black Frieza in the movie.
Oh, yeah, because that was comic book only at the time, and they were just like, the hype wasn't around the movie. It was about the manga is what it was.
Yeah, but the movie itself was pretty good. I'll admit, going into it and seeing Gohan as an adult with a daughter threw me for a loop. So I wasn't expecting that one, because Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, I kind of stopped at Z. I never really went into
You never
Super.
even watched GT.
Yeah, I didn't watch GT either.
Yeah, in GT, it was literally Goku with Trunks, and his daughter's name is Pan.
Yeah.
It was literally Trunks, Pan, and Goku. That was the whole
Goku
GT.
or Gohan?
Goku. Goku was wished back to being a kid as a joke.
Okay.
Someone was trying to make a wish. They saw Goku was there, freaked out. Do you remember Pilaf? Pilaf was the original bad guy in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Little short guy.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh no, he's I wish you were a kid again." And boom, he was a kid, and now they were going into space.
Okay. Yeah. So I stopped at Z.
Yeah. So Pan has always been a character. We knew she'd come back.
Mm-hmm.
So she was both canon and non-canon at the same time when they released her. So everyone knew she was coming. So for you being a shock, it's because you didn't watch GT.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. I was at a different Dragon Ball era than y'all. But I knew Piccolo. I knew who Gohan was. I just wasn't ready to see him as an adult.
Yeah.
So Piccolo, Cell, Red Ribbon Army, all that stuff made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, you and your cousin were there to fill me in on some of the stuff that I missed.
Yeah.
But it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I wish their art style was different. I didn't care for it, but I enjoyed it. It was cool.
I still want to go back and watch the Broly movie, though.
That is peak Dragon Ball movie.
Yeah, and I haven't got to see that one yet. It was hard to find for a while, but now it's out. I think I found it on Prime. You can rent it on Prime for like $3.
I watched it the same way I watched the Godzilla King Kong one. I can't tell you how I did that on here, but it's on adult sites for free.
Yeah, When I was looking for the Broly movie, I found places like on Reddit and stuff where you could stream it there, but the quality was really poor.
Oh, no. These were full downloaded movies on adult sites. You could just click on it. I walked into the high school with Shrek on that site, turned it on, and it was the full movie, great quality, and everyone sat down and watched it. Didn't know that's what site it was on until the very end. I clicked it, and they're like, what the...
Okay, yeah.
It was pure shock factor, and that was the whole reason I did it, is for pure shock factor. This is the Shrek movie. Oh, cool, we're watching Shrek. So great. Turns it off. What did I just see?
Yeah, you saw what you thought you saw.
You saw that logo.
Mm-hmm. No, I tracked mine down through legit sources.
It's a legit source.
Like I said, I think I found Broly on Prime for like $3. So yeah, I got it. I just need to watch it. Hopefully I'll get to that this weekend. Your mom's got some wedding stuff she's doing with one of her friends. Oh. So while she's gone, I may turn that on.
Turn it on. It's a good watch. It shows you the beginning of like the actual planet Vegeta. Mm-hmm. Shows you that. Gives you some of the background on why Goku was shot to Earth, stuff like that. Gives you some minor background stuff.
Yeah. I've just heard that the fights are great. Yeah.
Animations, great.
And that Broly is just beast.
Super beast.
So I'm interested to see that. I was when Broly popped up in this new one, I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get to see Broly finally."
No, he just sat there.
Yeah, man.
No, when they introduce him, it'd be like, "Okay, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be awesome."
Yeah. So now I really want to go and watch the Broly movie because everybody's hyped him up, and then he didn't do anything in this movie. Really, he was kind of like the Hulk in
anything after the Avengers.
Well, in Endgame, you're embarrassing me in front of the wizard, kind of thing. He just
come out. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. So now I've got to go back and watch classic Broly since new Broly didn't do anything.
Not classic Broly. Classic Broly's really old. Still good though. Still good.
I saw that one too. Yeah. I thought about that as soon as I said classic Broly, but no, there's an old Broly movie.
There's 3 of them. There's Broly Returns, and Bio Broly.
That's right. Yeah.
We were making fun of Cell because we thought it was going to be like Bio Broly, which it kind of was.
Okay.
It's considered one of the worst Dragon Ball movies.
I saw those, but I was like, no, that's not the ones they're talking about, so I didn't get them.
The original Broly movie was really good as well. It was kind of long, but it was pretty good. Broly 2 is more iconic for a certain scene because it's Gohan and Goten because Goku's dead in that movie.
Goku's dead a lot.
Yeah, so it was Gohan fighting Broly on Earth.
Yeah.
Which was kind of interesting.
Isn't Goku supposed to be the greatest fighter and he keeps winning all these titles, but somehow he keeps dying? So he's not that great of a fighter if he dies more than anybody else.
I mean, he dies on his own terms, or at least he tried the last time he died. He tried to die on his own terms.
How many times has Krillin had to be wished back alive?
3.
How many times has Goku been wished back alive?
He may be on 3 too.
So everybody gives Krillin crap for being Krillin, but
Goku's still there too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's died the same amount of times as Goku, so if Goku's such a badass and Krillin's not died any more than Goku, maybe Krillin doesn't deserve as much crap.
Krillin doesn't deserve any crap at all anyways. I don't think he deserves any crap.
I like giving Krillin crap.
Oh, lots of people do. The Abridged series that they do on YouTube have a Krillin-owned counter on it, specifically for Krillin. There's other characters on there that they could do it for, but no, they specifically, every time Krillin gets his ass beat, even if it's just like a phrase that someone just roasted Krillin, they put a counter on it. And they're the ones writing it.
Yeah. So and I've watched some of the Abridged stuff. I haven't finished it. Now you make me want to go back and watch it just for that.
It is my canon. I love it so much. It has officially become my Dragon Ball canon.
So is that one anything like the Ghost Stories?
Kinda.
See, that makes me want to watch it even more because Ghost Stories was hilarious. You don't understand how many people I've told about that since you made me watch it.
When I saw it, I knew it'd be something you would love.
Yeah, and so fill in everybody else who doesn't know the history.
So the history of Ghost Stories is that it was an anime that came out in Japan in the 90s or early 2000s. I think it was like 98, 99 actually.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, it didn't do great over there. at all. So when it came to the Western audience...
Well, it didn't come to the Western audience for a long time on top of that.
Yeah, but when it came here, they said you have like 5 rules, all right? You can't change the names. You can't change how the monsters go. You got to keep to like the origin of the story and stuff like that.
Well, and it was all based on Japanese mythology and
their folklore and all
yeah.
that, yeah. So you got to keep that basis. Other than that, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, they didn't even really give them a script or anything. It was all, they watched it and just, they came up with their own lines, more or less.
Yeah, they made one kid Jewish, another one a Catholic, heavy Catholic girl.
Yeah, devout Catholic.
Yeah. Another one was just kind of like the silly, I want girls. Yeah. And then they made the little kid autistic.
Yeah. And the sad part is they were all like 4th grade.
Oh, yeah, all 4th grade. It was bad. It was funny. It was so good.
Oh, it was messed up. So if y'all are looking for just a completely inappropriate anime where the dialogue is just jacked up,
it's pretty funny.
We watch Ghost Stories. You can find the DVD on Amazon pretty cheap. I don't remember how much we found it for, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I just knew we had to watch it.
And I am so glad you made me watch that. That was the funniest damn thing. It's only 1 season long. There's only like 12 or 16 episodes, something like that, I think.
But it's just a room of like 4 people just going in and saying whatever they want, really. Yeah,
ripping on each other most of the time. Oh, especially the little kid.
Oh,
the little brother. They rip on him hard. It's so funny.
How is the short bus's favorite passenger?
So yeah, Ghost Stories is great. It's a favorite of mine. It's not a traditional anime, just in that sense, but it's so funny.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I recommend it.
Oh my gosh! All right, well enough anime chatter. We've talked about some of the stuff we've watched, we've not watched. There's Love, Death, Robots, but I think you still need to watch season 3 on that one.
Watch One Piece. Yeah, always got to bring that up.
Always watch One Piece. One Piece. One Piece. One Piece. It's all you ever talk about. I'm surprised you know any other anime.
Because One Piece I put on hold for a little while so I can catch up with the modern people.
Whatever. I will eventually get around to watching some One Piece, but I don't think I will ever watch all 18,000 episodes or whatever they're at.
1,032.
Yeah, that's probably 1,000 more episodes than what I'll be able to manage before I get distracted. Ooh, shiny.
I watch it.
I know. And if I start it now, I'll be watching it, and then later this month, Diofield Chronicle releases for the Switch. Ooh, shiny. I'll go playing Dinofield Chronicle, and then by the time I finish playing Diofield Chronicle and turn back onto that, Pokemon will drop. Ooh, shiny. I'll go back to playing Pokemon, and I'll forget that. And then when I finish Pokemon and go back to playing that, there'll be something else that releases. I won't be able to get through 1,000 episodes because I've got so much other stuff I want to play and watch and do.
Yeah, it took me like a full year to catch up in One Piece episodes.
It would take me a full year just to watch 100 of it.
No, I got through the first 100 within like 3 weeks.
Yeah, but I can't. I wouldn't be able to devote that much time to it to watch that many episodes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it would take me a year to watch 100 episodes. If I can only do 100 episodes a year, that's a decade to get through it. Well, think of all the stuff that they're going to release in that decade.
Oh, yeah.
I'm never going to get caught up. Now they've got, a live-action movie coming.
I think it's a TV series.
A live-action TV series coming. They've got an animated movie coming. So One Piece is blowing up, and it's going to be all over the place here pretty soon. There's no way I'm going to be able to consume all of that plus 1,000 episodes.
It's doable. I just don't expect you to do it.
It's doable, but not with my schedule.
Oh, yeah. But yeah. You could always read the manga. You can get through that a lot faster.
Back up. You said the R word.
Read?
Yeah.
You're an author, though.
That means I write. I don't read. I write. People always ask me, what's your favorite book? Oh, I don't know. What's the last book you read? I couldn't tell you. Because I write so much, I spend most of my time reading my own stuff, doing editing and revisions. Like right now, I've got like 6 different books I'm working on. Well, if I stop working on one to go back and work on another one because that's the way I am, ooh, shiny, I have to stop to read. Where did I leave off? What did I already do? Where do I need to pick up? So I'm reading my own stuff. I'm not reading a lot of other people's stuff. And when I get comics, the reason I get comics and I can read them,
they're short.
They're short, exactly. But I mean, we went to Old Town, what, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
Something like that.
And I bought 3 comic books. They're still in the bag.
Yeah.
I haven't even got them out of the bag yet because I haven't had time to sit down and read them.
Then you're just missing out on a great story.
I know. I'm probably missing out on a lot of stuff because of that. But when you look at my priorities are my writing right now, not so much my reading. I spent 20 years reading books in school and crap like that.
Oh, no, you're good. It's just most anime communities, they're part of like one of these 3. Naruto, One Piece, or Dragon Ball. You pick one and you go.
I fall more into the Dragon Ball category, even though I kind of fell out for a while.
Oh, yeah. Say, I was a part of the Dragon Ball, and I went straight to the One Piece without even thinking about it. No hesitation.
I mean, when we first found One Piece and started watching it several years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed it. I liked it. I thought it was something fun. I just, at the time, the streaming services and stuff really weren't out there for it like they are today, and finding the DVDs was a lot harder.
Oh, yeah. We only had half. We went to like, I don't know, I want to say maybe not even episode 30 or so into it.
Yeah.
It was pretty early on because we didn't even meet the 4th member of the crew at that point, who's been a part of the series for like 20 years now.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a lot harder to find, and that was probably one of the reasons why we didn't pursue it, just because it was
so hard to find.
So hard to find. We weren't going to be able to keep up with it very consistently.
And then the moment I was able to pick it back up, I was like, hey, I remember watching this. I'm going to pick it back up. I don't care how long it is. I know what I was getting into. I missed the show. I remembered it, and I picked it up and I kept going.
I remember the show that we watched, but I remember it being one of those that we didn't see for a long time, and other things had come along since then that held my interest, so I didn't pursue it.
Yeah, well, it's kept my interest, and that's why I picked it back up.
Yeah, so you'll, until the day I die, you will push me to watch One Piece
because you're the reason I watch it.
I know. I'm the reason you got introduced to it the same time I got introduced to it. That's by my own hand, I admit, but I just don't know that I'll ever get caught up.
Okay, then I'll do the same thing to you that I do with Dylan. Watch Hunter x Hunter.
That's another one that's on my list.
That is one of the longer ones that I would recommend to someone, though. I don't usually...
When you say longer, define longer. How many...
Okay, when I recommend things to people, I usually don't go past like 30 episodes or so, unless I know it's something they will watch.
So I only know of 4 seasons of Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, there's like 148 episodes.
Well, and I think I know of about 75 maybe, or those are the ones I haven't watched.
Yeah, you've downloaded like the first 75 or so, and they just released the rest of it, so you can finish it now.
Okay.
So yeah, there's like 148 episodes. Dylan originally didn't want to watch it, and then I got his friend to get him to watch it, and Dylan's like, okay, it was good. I liked it. It was long, but I won't recommend anything longer than that.
Yeah, because it'll take me a while to watch 150 episodes. Yeah. I'll eventually get there. I mean, if I can watch every episode in The Big Bang Theory,
yeah,
I can watch that. If I can watch every episode of The X-Files, I can get there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to take me a while.
Yeah.
What about the one Ethan likes, Demon Slayer?
That is really good. Very high quality. They released their season 2. I would recommend it to you. It's just so popular right now that, just saying go watch Demon Slayer sounds like what you'd hear from anyone.
It's just a bandwagon type thing.
But it deserves it. It really is good.
Yeah.
It's just, it's one of those things, like, watch it. It's one of those anime people watch it so they can talk about it because everyone watches it. And it's one of the big reasons animes hit mainstream in, like, 2020 is, like, so many other people are finally watching other animes.
Yeah.
Because it's just so high quality, super good.
Well, and I think with Crunchyroll and
Funimation
really finally hitting their strides in a streaming service has done a lot for it. Because before Crunchyroll and Funimation really came around and streaming services, really your anime was locked into like
sketchy sites.
Well, Adult Swim on
Saturday nights,
on Saturdays and Sunday nights, or
Toonami used to be mornings for kids.
Yeah,
and it was for kids dubs, which are bad.
Yeah, but you really only got those types of shows on those channels, either late at night or early mornings, because they just weren't their big demographic.
Yeah.
And you were limited to things like Airbender.
No, that was a kid's. That was an actual cartoon.
Yeah, but I mean, those are the types of things. If you really want to look at some of the other stuff that they were showing, then it was Dragon Ball,
Bleach, Naruto.
Yeah.
They did Ghost in the Shells, the TV series.
They did some of those.
Cowboy Bebop was prominent for a long time.
Yeah. So I mean, you really had those, but if you didn't have cable or satellite, or you weren't up late night, you weren't going to watch those.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons why I didn't get to watch animes for so long. Living out in the country in the 80s and 90s, we didn't have cable TV.
Mm-hmm.
And satellite back then was in its infancy. You had to spend a huge amount of money to have this big dish in your yard, and we weren't going to do that. And then once they started rolling out services like Dish Network and DirecTV, where you could get satellite pretty much wherever you wanted at a reasonable rate, it was all cool. We got that in our house, but I didn't know what Toonami was.
Yeah.
I didn't know what these shows were that were popping up in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a little delayed for me. You guys got there after it was already established.
Well, when Funimation did their thing, it was super expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And Crunchyroll used to be free. You could watch it, and they'd give you an ad at the beginning, an ad in the middle, and an ad at the end.
Kind of like Hulu for a while.
Yeah, it was originally like the Hulu for anime. It was good. They had like maybe 200-something shows on there, and they were releasing the new stuff. And this was back in 2012. That's when I found Crunchyroll. And then it became this big thing. You got to pay, or we're giving you like 10 ads. Yeah. And I had to stop because once 2014, 2015 came around, their ads were so out there. You couldn't watch the current episodes because you had to wait like 2 weeks instead of 1 week for the current episode sub for you to watch. It was just too much.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've run across some of those streaming sites that, you can watch stuff for free, but we're going to give you a bunch of ads like you're on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was kind of the pitch for all these streaming services, is you wouldn't have to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
And if I watch something on TV, odds are I don't watch it live.
Yeah.
I record it, and then I fast forward through the commercials. Well, if I'm trying to stream something, I can't fast forward through the commercials.
Mm-hmm.
But to a degree, if I'm not paying for it, I guess there has to be a downside somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when I first found Crunchyroll, it was subs only. You could watch the new stuff, but you had to wait a week. Yeah. And this is around, I watched the Attack on Titan as it released.
Yeah. So that's good. Anyway. Enough of all that. We can go on and on ranting about streaming services and the different animes out there, because they are a ton. But bottom line, you will never leave me alone about One Piece, and I will never catch up. So we are deadlocked in this cycle forever. Sorry.
Well, we found Tommy. We need something else.
Yeah. Well, we'll find something, because remember, that's fantastic. But while you were gone on vacation, switching gears, you got a bunch of magic cards in.
Yeah.
So
I don't remember which cards came in.
Well, you got one in today.
Well, this is just, Worm Coil Engine. It's like a $10 card, if that.
And you found it for how much?
$3 on eBay.
$3, yeah. So
I go on eBay, and if I find stuff that they're doing, bid on this, and, nobody's bid on it, I go, okay, here's a small little bid. I just want to be a part of it, because if I win, I win. I've gotten a $20 card for, $10, $14. It was really, $10 for, half the price, because no one else was bidding on it.
See, and one of the ones I got in recently, and I think this one's already been posted out out to the social media was Archangel of Tithes.
Oh, yeah.
This was the one you accused me of bidding against you for.
Yeah, because the moment because no one was bidding on it at the time, and then the moment I bring it up to you, its price skyrocketed to its original price, and I had to pay like $1 extra because I just wanted the card, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna let you beat me. And then I don't think it was you.
Nope, wasn't me.
For a second I thought it was. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, because you were like, oh, Archangel of Tithes, da 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 da, and I was like, yeah, I just bought one.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, is that you raising the price? No, I wish it was, but no.
Yeah, because originally it was for like half price too. And then someone else was like, oh man, I want that. I'm like, why? Yeah. I'm doing this because nobody wanted it. What are you going to do with it? Same thing I'm doing, probably.
Same thing, yeah.
I was like, I don't want you to buy it and sell it. I'm using it. I don't know if you're going to use it.
Nah. Well, the Archangel, I'll put it in one of my angel decks, I'm sure.
Yeah, I put mine in a flying tribal type thing.
Yeah. And then, but next week, early September.
September 9th,
Dominaria
United
drops.
Yes.
Have you pre-ordered that yet?
I pre-ordered a set booster box and both commander decks.
Did you pre-order that through like Amazon, or did you pre-order that through Nick at Oil Town?
You never gave me the thing about Oil Town, so I used Amazon.
Well, with Oil Town, you just go up there and talk to Nick and tell him you want to pre-order it, and he'll take care of it.
Oh, okay.
So
I wasn't sure if he can get it cheaper or not. It was like $140.
Half the time, he kind of knows what his prices are gonna be based on what the wholesaler prices are.
Yeah.
But with
he usually is.
Yeah, he doesn't have like a system for pre-orders yet.
Mm-hmm.
So if you tell him you want to pre-order it, you don't prepay.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. He just says, okay, I'll order you a box from the wholesaler if I can get it, and he just adds that to his order to bring in.
And then you just pay it when it gets there.
Yeah, pay it when you pick it up.
He's usually pretty good. I like.
Yeah, but his prices are always pretty fair, pretty competitive. You know, I'm not gonna lie. There's times I've found things cheaper on Amazon, but it's usually $5-10. It's not like Amazon's $100 and Nick's on $150 or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's not anything that bad.
And there are places that are that bad.
Yeah,
I went to one in California where I was looking at. They had it's California.
Yeah, California.
But they had a bunch of like collectibles there, and I can find almost everything there $100 less on any other site. Almost everything.
Yeah. I don't know why people do that in such a modern, connected age. They think that they can charge so much more, like you're not going to do price comparisons, or that you don't know what it is you're looking for.
Yeah, like their books and their DVDs, like for movies and stuff, super cheap. Video game collectibles and their like figures and stuff like that, through the roof. And I'm like, you can't fool me, because if I want it, I will buy it online if I want it.
Maybe they're expecting it's not even really a touristy thing, but maybe it's more for like gifts, people buying stuff for family members that don't really understand the value of it.
Say, I had one of the Pokemon games they had there. I have it, and they were selling it for like $120.
Yeah.
Its resale price is $80. And I'm like, that's a $40. I can see you going 100. People will pay that much for it, but 120 for something that's I could resell $80 right now.
Yeah,
on something I spent 30.
When you're asking 50% over retail, that seems a little weird. But maybe they do that for negotiations or something. If somebody comes in and says, "Man, I'm not going to spend $120, but I'll give you $100 for that." All right, cool.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Maybe. All I know is when I walked in and I was looking some of this stuff up. If I want it, I'm going to go online for this, or I'll find somewhere local for me and go cheaper instead.
But that brings up a good point. If you're trying to buy magic cards or collectibles or whatever, and you see something in a store, just because it's in a store doesn't mean you're getting a good deal.
Yeah.
And as much as I try and support Nick at our local comic book store and everything else, if he had something for $150 that goes for $100 on Amazon, I'm going to buy it off of Amazon. But I think most people have to understand and expect that. Support local, but sometimes local just can't get you the same deal.
Yeah, some locals are trying to exploit you anyways, but not all. Some of them are really good.
Some of them may be trying to exploit you. Some of them just may not be able to get the volume discounts from their wholesalers either.
That could be it too.
Yeah, because I mean that's one of the things that I've talked with different people about, that they just don't have the volume to get the same deals that other places get. And if it's costing me $120 to put it in the store, I have to charge you $150 or whatever to make a profit off of it, because I've got to be able to make money to pay for the store.
Yeah,
to pay for employees, to pay for other stuff.
Most businesses are rented, like the building is rented, so they got to pay their rent.
Yeah,
that's most businesses too, like McDonald's or stuff like that. They're renting it.
No, they're not.
The one at like Walmart and stuff. They are.
But that's a different thing.
Yeah.
But
like the stores at like local places, they're renting them. Like places in the mall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, places in the mall, that's to be expected.
But that's where you find most of the collectible stuffs.
Yeah, you find those in strip malls and things like that.
Yeah, so they got to pay their rent and stuff like that.
Nick has his own store at Oil Town, but that's a different deal than what you see a lot of them. Mm-hmm. Price shop. Yeah, that's all I can tell you on that one there. And you were smart. You looked up the prices on some of that stuff before you bought it.
I normally do.
Yeah. So you said you pre-ordered those Commanders?
Yeah, there's 2 of them. There's a rainbow-colored painbow. It's all about the 5 colors. Everything's got to be like 5 colors.
Yeah, and that'll be the one I like, I think.
It's very low in how many 5-color stuff there is. You can throw more, but there's only like 36 or so 5-colored cards. Not all of them are great, but it still seems fine.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Legendary Matters, where everything's got to be legendary creature, legendary land, legendary spells,
So
and it's 3 colors.
Too.
That one's for me. I have a red-white one that's Legendary Matters, and this one's red, white, and black. Okay, let me throw black in there. Let me make it better, because red and white are like the worst colors.
I've got a red-white angel deck that's fun.
Yeah, but like for like more competitive plays, those are considered the worst too.
Yeah, I can see that for competitive.
Yeah, they're considered like the worst too. So the fact that they just threw black in for something I already had, they're like, cool, I can draw more cards. That's really all I'm using black for anyways.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see when that hits next week. Speaking of stuff hitting soon, or new stuff, we also have run across a new TCG.
Yes, Dynasty.
Yeah, Dynasty. They've got a website. Let me see. What's that website? DynastyTCG.com. So it's actually pretty easy. Mm-hmm. And they've got an Instagram page, I think Dynasty_TCG. Mm-hmm. I think is their Instagram page. But it's a TCG game based off of feudal China, from what I can gather.
Yeah, the art looks fantastic on these cards that they're showing us, at least.
Yeah, so if you go out and you look at their website and you look at their Instagram page, you'll find some examples of some of the artwork that they're doing. It's still really early. I think they're working on a Kickstarter to help get some of their distribution and production levels going. But we've actually found it, and we've talked to some of the creative team, and we're getting our hands on a couple of decks.
Yeah.
So they've got cards, they've got a couple of pre-builds that are out there so that people can get right now. So we're going to get our hands on that, and we're going to do some play testing with it. And we'll talk a little bit more about that one in a future episode in a review, but we're actually both kind of excited about it.
Yeah, maybe we get our other friends interested into it. We can get more card games with them, or we can get someone else to spend their money on other things rather than Magic, so we can compete with them.
Yeah. Let's get Mike to spend money somewhere other than Magic, level the playing field. So we did something similar with Flesh and Blood a couple of years ago.
Because now that's actually
fairly blowing up.
Yeah, and it's super expensive to get into.
Yeah, it's super expensive, and that's why we really haven't followed through with that one. But we've got some of their cards out there.
Yeah, we opened up a box of their cards, an entire little pack. Nothing really great.
So I ran across that. They were running a deal on it, when they were first trying to bring it over to the West, because apparently it's been over in Europe for a couple of years, and they wanted to bring it to the West, so they were running some discounts. And I bought boxes for me, you, Mike, and I think John Mark too. I think
John Mark did get one.
So we all opened up boxes for that, but then everything got real expensive, and we didn't really do much with it.
I couldn't find them, and the only way I can buy them is online.
Yeah, they're hard to find. I have run across a few of them in different stores, in the last 2 years, But yeah, the majority of it's online. Like I said, it's predominantly European from what I'm seeing, and that's this one. They're based overseas, so they're not an American company like Wizards of the Coast. But they're wanting to really build out and do something with it from the conversations I've had with those guys. But they're limited with their cards right now. So the 2 pre-builds that we're getting are the only 2 pre-builds available.
Yeah.
So if we bring in Mike and John Mark to this, they're going to play the same cards that we have.
Yeah.
So there's some variety limitations that we're seeing, but
That's
for a
the
startup,
beginning.
that's to be expected.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to knock them for that right now. I haven't seen a full card set list yet. It's going to be one of the things I talk to them about. Once we get our demo kits in and we do some play tests, I've already told them, look, I'll give you guys some feedback. We may do some recorded sessions for you guys, whatever. Let us get our hands on the rules. Let us get our hands on some cards and see what we think, and we'll give you more feedback later. And so far, the guys that I've talked to over there, they've been pretty cool, pretty understanding. Nobody's saying, oh, I need you to do this and I want you to do that. It's just like, hey, you guys like Magic,
check
this out.
Yeah.
We'd like for you to check this out. So I'm curious to see how it's going to shake out. I don't have a timeline for when we'll get those cards in. I'm sure it'll be, a week or two, because they're sending them to us. They've already told them they're going to send them out, but they're sending them from overseas.
Yeah.
That usually takes a while. So maybe by the time we get around to having an episode in October, maybe end of October, we can talk about it there.
But the cards look great.
Yeah, the art style looks really good, and I really like the feudal China aspect of it. So, but there'll be more on that. I talked to John Kaiser the other day.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, I've got a buddy, John, who worked with me at Midway. He's worked with some other game studios. He does a lot of graphic art. He's done a lot of the cover designs for my first book in the Ascension Legacy series, and he did the cover art design for book 4 that actually released September 1st. So John's very factored into a lot of the things that we do, both historically and currently. But Counter-Strike, the game that we were playtesting for him a while back, I think they're getting ready to roll out another version of that.
Nice. I enjoyed Counter-Strike.
Yeah. So next time John wants to do some stuff with Counter-Strike, we'll have to bring that out and maybe do some stuff with the podcast on that. War for the White House.
Oh my God, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun. I'm really disappointed that one didn't get picked up more. I think that was just a distribution thing. They had a hard time finding a distribution outlet for it.
I think I saw one of his games at our Walmart at one point.
Maybe.
I don't want to say, but I think I remember seeing one for like a brief second.
Yeah. And I don't remember if they
No,
ever...
it was at the comic book store.
Oh yeah,
it was on the shelf.
There was War for the White House was at the comic book store for a while, and I don't remember if they still have their website or not. I'll have to talk to John and maybe do it. But if you want something just quick and fun to play, War for the White House was a lot of fun. It was just a little card game, like a little deck of cards, like a playing deck.
Yeah.
And you went around and played, and it was quick. It was fun. It was entertaining. Something just
to play. It was kind of like one of those games. You bring a pack of cards. Everyone plays with that same little deck.
Yeah, pack of 52 and you're good to go. And it was, it'd be like a great little party game or something to take on vacation when you're just wanting something to do.
Yeah, the kids would love it.
Yeah.
We loved it.
So I'm gonna have to talk to John and find out if that's still available for anybody anywhere. I know at one point in time they had some that they were selling locally and selling online. I don't remember what happened to it. So yeah, that'd be neat. I'd forgotten about that until we started talking about this.
Oh yeah, I didn't forget about War for the White House.
Well, I didn't forget.
Yeah,
it's just not one of those games that we really talk about a lot. When your mom and I did our remarriage stuff a few years ago, that was actually one of our wedding
remote, right?
Yeah, we got War for the Remote.
Yeah.
So I love that he did that little parody for us. It was great. But we'll keep you posted on Dynasty as we learn more and as we go. But definitely go check them out on their website or on their Instagram and look at the cards, because that was one of the first things that when we ran across it that caught our attention was just the art. The other game that came out recently that I'm checking out, do you remember the the Ease game for Switch and PlayStation?
I remember them. I never really played them, but I do remember them.
So, well, they're JRPGs. I mean, they're right up our alley.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I played them on my Vita, and then the ones they had on the Vita eventually made their way to the PlayStation and the Switch, and I picked them up there and played them. They had one come out for the Switch not too long ago, Ease 8, Lacrimosa of Dana or something like that. I played that one a lot, and they announced not too long ago, and it just dropped like the last week of August, a mobile version. So they've got an Ease MMO, the Art of Nephilim or something like that you can play mobile now. So seeing as to how I like the standard ones, I'm going to try out that MMO.
Yeah.
And I'll report back to you. I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be like most mobile MMOs where you get quests and you just click on it and it auto follows and auto battles and things like that. But I'm curious to see how it's treated compared to the standalone.
Speaking of games, last time we talked about games, I talked about the Digimon Survive game.
Yes.
I did pick it up.
Yep.
I have been enjoying it.
Do you have any idea how far you are into it? How close you are to finishing?
I did a lot of fighting and grinding, so I know I'm almost halfway through it, almost to the halfway point. I already have a kid died. Kids do die.
Yeah.
I think another one's about to die. I can't prove, I don't know that, but I have a feeling that I screwed up somewhere.
So I mean, it's the choices you make along the way determine who dies and when, because they don't always die. They don't all die.
Yeah,
it's
even
conditional.
And even after you beat the game, there's a thing where if you can go through it without a single character dying the second time,
you unlock a special evolution or something, don't you?
Yeah. You get you get a secret evolution, your character didn't die. Boom, here's this. Well, I was trying to see, maybe I can do it the first time. I know I won't unlock that character, the secret evolution the first time, because it's only second time only. But I was like, all right, I can see what I have to do the first time, see if I can get them all to live, see if I can do that second time.
You have failed.
I have failed.
Yeah. Well, I'm still working through Xenoblade 3. I'm about halfway through with that one. I mean, I did enough grinding and character development that I should be able to power through it.
I got all my guys are in like their level 50s. And I just hit, like, not too long ago, got the last character to join the party. Her thing was level 19.
Yeah, so I'm in like my 60s and 70s, but I'm only in the level 40 story part. So I'm fixing to have to just blow through that because I got to get caught up because Diofield drops at the end of September, and so we're getting really close to that. And then I'm gonna have to power through Diofield before Pokemon comes out in November? Yeah.
They're saying this new Pokemon game is gonna be a long one too. The one person said they beat it in 40 hours, which is like, okay. He also said he wasn't trying to like actually go through and just do story only because the world's so big. He was doing exploring and trying to figure that out. But
so I'll spend about 120, 200 hours.
Yeah.
Starfield's supposed to come out next year. I'm interested in that one, but I don't know. That I don't have a lot of release schedules for 2023 yet.
Yeah,
I'm just worried about getting through Pokemon right now.
Yeah, I usually wait till around like February when Nintendo does their Direct anyways.
Yeah.
And then for the PlayStation stuff, I just wait until I hear something good comes out.
So PlayStation has announced recently that they have acquired a number of studios that do mobile development. So it looks like Sony's fixing to put a lot of things into mobile. What that means, I don't know. But Sony's ramping up their mobile platforms from the sounds of it. There was a report the other day that Amazon was buying EA. Now, a few hours after it was reported that was happening, they came back and said, no, they're not doing it. So that report ended up being false. But that was interesting. You know, Amazon may be buying a game studio after it's talking about shutting down Stadia.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to shut down our streaming game platform, but then turn around and buy the largest third-party game publisher out there? What?
And the weird part is that grabbing EA is like grabbing a trash can for game systems.
No. EA as a company has had its fair share of controversies regarding pay and overtime and crap like that.
Oh,
But if you grab their game library, you grab a ton of stuff because EA owns a lot of other companies.
Yeah. They, I think they did like the Legos stuff, and then they had all the sports.
Yeah, well, even beyond that, so in the 80s and 90s, there were all kinds of game companies out there, Fraxis, and I don't even remember all of them now, that were these other third-party publishers for video games.
EA bought them.
EA ended up buying all of them. By the time I left Midway, EA owned like 12 or 13 other game companies that were major.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what I'm saying. EA is the largest third-party game publisher and has been for a long time. That's why they have so much power to do the crap that they do and still get away with it.
Yeah, because their games that they put EA on are literally, they're bad and they're pay to win. You got to spend money in a game you already paid for to do stuff in those games.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just talking about in terms of
just
influence.
Amazon buying it would be crazy.
But EA just has a lot of influence in the market because they own so many of these other companies and produce so much content. They have a lot of influence. So if somebody like Amazon were to come through and buy them, that would be a major shakeup in the industry. Now, like I said, the report turned up being false, and Amazon did not buy EA. But that idea, it woke me up.
That would be terrifying.
It would be interesting. I mean, think about it. Xbox has already pretty much said the future of our consoles is digital. I mean, they've got an Xbox that accepts discs and an Xbox that doesn't. PlayStation has one that accepts discs and doesn't. But up until recently, they were saying, we're not sold on digital only. But if they're going out and buying all these mobile developers, these studios that focus on mobile, well, guess what? Mobile is digital.
Yeah.
There's no physical release for this.
And there's a lot of, and thing about mobile games too is a lot of it's gotcha games where people are gambling and getting cash and spending a lot of cash on them.
Yeah, it's buying energy and buying loot boxes and buying crystals and
trying to get characters, character arts and all that.
And I don't know if it's just Nintendo has finally opened the door to going mobile. Nintendo's got some of their stuff that they've decided they're going to do mobile, and and Sony's just like, we don't want to be closed off to that idea, because if Nintendo's doing it, then maybe there's something there. So they're just setting the stage to do that. We're going to support mobile and this, but it really makes me wonder what they're doing.
Yeah. And say Nintendo's had a hand in sort of mobile for a long time, like with Game Boys.
Well, no.
I'm talking on the phone.
Yeah.
But Nintendo already knows.
But when we talk
sort of what to do.
But when we talk about mobile, we talk about this. We're not talking about handheld. We're talking about mobile.
What I'm saying is like they know that how they would compress other games to make them smaller to fit in like the Game Boy and all that. So Nintendo already has a hand of, hey, we have like a Mario. We can basically make it smaller and put it on the phone, and they did.
Yeah, but they were very resistant to doing mobile.
Yes.
It's only been within the last year or so that they've said, you know what, maybe we need to explore this and we need to open that up.
Yeah, and I think Angry Birds is the big cause for that. I think Angry Birds was the mobile game for a long time, and they got so much money, they were like,
Yeah, Angry Birds and Candy Crush.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm hoping that that's all Sony's doing, is saying, we're going to have some content for mobile just to supplement our console stuff.
It's just a good cash grab,
honestly.
It
is. And Sony has already said they're already working on the next PlayStation. So as long as I've got one more generation of console, I think I'm okay. Because by then, I'll be so old, I don't know that I'll be able to play consoles. By then, it'll just be VR, and it'll be virtual physical therapy for my old ass. You laugh, but think about it.
If I go to VR, it'd just be to watch illegal things.
Well,
like people streaming movies and stuff on that they downloaded.
But think how long the last generation lasted. PlayStation 4 lasted for like 10 years. I mean, that generation lasted a long time before this new generation came out. Well, I think this generation is going to last for a while before the next generation comes out.
Shoot, how long has the PS5 actually been officially released?
It's only been out.
2018?
Yeah, it's only been out for like 2 or 3 years. maybe.
When did that release?
That's a good question. I don't remember it. But
I was in high school.
Release and available are two different things.
That's true.
Because I mean, it's just now getting to where you can find them.
Yeah.
See here. PS5's official release date was November 2020.
November 2020.
So
okay,
2 years.
What Xbox did I get then? When I was for Ethan, it was a newer one.
You got him the Xbox X, because it was the Xbox 360, Xbox X, and then now it's the Xbox X1 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he's got the previous model.
Yeah.
Nobody in the family has the new Xbox right now.
No. Okay.
You and I are the only ones with PS5s. Well, and Jordan, but Jordan doesn't count. No, Dylan has the new Xbox.
Oh, he does.
You're right, because Dylan's an Xbox player.
Yeah.
So yeah. So if anybody is on here playing Xbox, primarily Apex, because that's going to be the only place you find him. If you see somebody called Captain Scolio, shoot him.
Shoot him every time.
Yeah. Or join his lobby and tell him Lord Brad in New York says he sucks.
Because he does.
Actually, him and his partners for Apex Ranked right now are really close to cracking through into Masters level, and then they're going to grind out and try and see if they can get...
top, 100?
Yeah, the Predator stuff, which I think is top 750.
Wow.
But yeah, they're already in the platinum stuff, and they're fixing to break through to masters. And by the time this airs, they may already be masters. I don't play ranked because you can only play trios in ranked. Dylan's so much better than me. He powers through a lot faster than me in ranked, and I'm not gonna play ranked with our other friends because I mean, like John Mark and Jordan, they play, but they don't play frequently, or we're so inconsistent when we play. Like John Mark's been wanting to play today, but I hadn't been able to play today because I've been working and now we're recording.
Yeah.
Well, when I get ready to play, John Mark may not be able to play because he's got kids or he's got to get up early in the morning to get on a plane to go somewhere for his job. Mm-hmm. So we're so inconsistent in when we can play that we don't really achieve very far in rank. So there's just no point in us doing rank. So... But yeah, if you manage to see Captain Scolio, shoot him and then say, haha, Reork said so. Reork said you suck. Because believe me, he and I will play and he will tell me about it and I will die laughing. So please, shoot Captain Scolio.
God, I can't wait. Does someone just shoot him?
Anyhow, I think that's about all we've got for this round.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of other stuff. You know, we've got cards coming out soon for Magic that we'll pick up, and we'll talk a little bit more about those.
This is the first time I actually pre-ordered a single card that came out with the set, but it's only because my first deck was designed around the original version of this card, so I'm like, I'm not missing out on this. I want this, and I want it now.
Which card is it?
Shealdred.
That's right. So next time, I want us to have our debate about Batman.
Is he an anti-hero?
Well, that's going to be some of the conversation. We're going to discuss, is Batman a hero? Is he an anti-hero? Is he a superhero? You know, we'll get into some of that. We'll talk all about Batman.
I'll tell you what he is. Inconsistent in movies.
Yeah, he is that. So, all right. Well, I guess that's all for this episode. Do you got anything you want to add?
That's fantastic.
That's fantastic. That's exactly what I was going to say if you didn't. So, when you hear this, drop a line on Facebook, drop a line on Instagram, drop a comment on YouTube, and all it needs to say is, that's fantastic.
You can find Dylan on Grindr or Tinder.
No. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say no, you can't, because I don't know, but...
Hopefully not. He's married.
Yeah, hopefully not. He's married. But yeah, if you hear this episode, let us know by dropping a "That's fantastic." Until next time.
That's fantastic.
That's fantastic. Thank you for listening to this episode of Nerd Shit. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/LordBradBrad to see when new episodes drop. Or you can find our channel on YouTube. Just search Lord Brad and look for our logo. You can listen to all of your favorite episodes of Nerd Shit directly from our website, www.lordbradbrad.com, where you can also learn a little bit more about us and the products we use and reference on the show. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to donate to the show, we gladly accept donations at coffee.com/LordBradBrad. That's coffee, spelled ko-fi.com/LordBradBrad. Or you can just click the link at the bottom of our website.
If you have any comments on anything discussed in this episode or would like to suggest a topic you would like to hear us talk about in a future episode, hit us up on our Facebook page. Again, that's facebook.com/LordBradBrad. Until next time, this is Reoric signing off and telling you to keep doing that nerd shit because you know we will.